Coming up on this edition of Access Virginia Beach, senior living. Officials break ground on a new affordable housing development, plus giving back. Police canines receive bulletproof vests thanks to donations. And always online, a new social media safety campaign protects children from online dangers. That and more are coming up as we access Virginia Beach. Hello and welcome to VBTV's Access Virginia Beach, a program that informs you of news and events from around our city and schools. I'm Georgine Jones and thanks for joining us. Affordable housing units are springing up all over the Hampton Roads region as city leaders try to figure out how to make their cities affordable for citizens. Virginia Beach is leading the way, and now ground has been broken on a new facility with senior citizens in mind.
It is amazing. In the midst of this weather, I am moved to see how many of you came out today.
Participants were certainly underneath the weather as the big day got underway.
Virginia Beach City Council's had a goal from the beginning to maintain and increase the supply of affordable housing. And when we developed the strategic growth area for Burton Station, one of the first elements that we put in to that particular plan was for senior housing.
Today, that process started off with the groundbreaking for the new Tranquility of the Lakes affordable senior housing project. Tranquility at the Lakes consists of one new three-story building comprising of 40 senior apartments, complete with a community room, office space, a maintenance room, laundry, storage, and a mechanicals room and public restrooms.
We're helping to promote the revitalization of Burton Station, and one of the ways is putting in water and sewer, and another way is promoting development that's quality development consistent with the adopted plan. And this is certainly a big part of that.
City Council approved the development and is contributing $280,000 in federal funds towards the construction. Construction is expected to start later this month, and a completion date is earmarked for the first part of next year. The Virginia Beach Police Department is always looking to recruit new officers for the wide variety of services they provide to the city. Recently, they announced the graduation of 4 officers from the 19th Mounted Police Academy. Family, friends, and fellow officers gathered for the ceremony at the Mounted Patrol facility located just off of Indian River Road.
We understand the importance of this particular unit. We also know that in the off-season, so to speak, they're in certain neighborhoods. They do a fantastic job in the neighborhoods, and everybody feels really safe when you see that horse coming down the street. Am I right?
But before that feeling of safety occurs, these officers and their 4-legged partners must learn to cooperate as a team.
So we start from the ground up, and they have to learn how to ride a horse. They start out bareback, and then they finally get a saddle. They don't get a bridle, and then they go through all that. Then we do a lot of stuff indoors where they have to walk over bottles. We throw bottles at them. They have to go through streamers. They have a big ball they have to push. We shoot off a gun. So all of the things that they could possibly come in contact with out on the street.
During the 10-week Basic Riding Academy, officers learned riding skills along with how to enforce and apprehend criminals while on their horse.
With this, I think it's more of your face is seen more. You're out in the daytime. You're not only talking to criminals, but you're talking to children who are excited to see your horse, and kind of bridging that gap between the department and the community. And especially in the times that we have now with the negative stories that are portrayed with the police, it's nice to be able to contribute in a small way to having a positive image for the department.
Each officer and horse is carefully matched according to his or her personality and temperament.
I joined the department about 4 years ago and started this academy 10 weeks ago. I used to work on the Oceanfront Community-Oriented Policing Squad and worked around the horses and really enjoyed them, so I was excited to try to be part of the unit.
With 10 mounted patrol officers employed by the department, 6 to 8 officers are normally on duty each day.
Well, their main responsibility is going to be from April until October. Certainly we'll be at the oceanfront at nighttime. supplementing the guys there. But we'll, at Christmas time, be at the malls, we'll be at school functions, we're doing Special Olympics.
These new officers will continue their training through a field training process where they are partnered up with seasoned officers. The unit operates year-round. During the tourist season, you'll see officers on horseback patrolling the resort area. Along with mounted patrol, there are a number of other tactical units in the police department that are responsible for specialized enforcement and response. The Canine unit is one of those divisions, and they recently received a much-needed donation.
Hands up.
16 dogs make up Virginia Beach's Canine unit. Thankfully, the force has never lost a dog in the line of duty, but nationally, it's a different story.
2015, we were looking at about 27 total canines that died in the line of duty. Probably 7, 8 of those were gunfire. It's definitely an increase in the violence towards the police canines lately.
Police dogs put their lives on the line daily, oftentimes with no protection. James Hatch, founder of Spike's Canine Fund, wants to change that. He recently donated 2 vests to Beach Police.
They deserve it because they work for the community, they protect people. So they deserve our best, and the best we can do is give them the best gear we can. And secondly, it protects the officers that they roll with.
The ballistic canine vests are sleek and lightweight, but cost about $2,500 each. To help raise funds, the Virginia Beach Police Foundation stepped in.
We're partnering with Jimmy Hatch and Spike's Canine Fund to raise money to outfit the remainder of the Virginia Beach Police canine dogs with these ballistic resistant vests and help to protect them because they're protecting the officers and our citizens.
Beach canines are certified in patrol work and are cross-trained in explosive detection. The vest will provide an added level of safety.
The ballistic vest, like ours, would provide them protection on a majority of their body from gunfire. It also provide them an added element of protection towards knifed objects.
The Virginia Beach Police Foundation wants to ensure every dog within the unit is protected, and they're asking the community to help.
At 13 more that we're hoping to purchase, and we're hoping that members of the community and businesses in the community will donate to either the Virginia Beach Police Foundation or Spike's Canine Fund to help fund those vests.
For more information, log on to vbpf.org or spikescaninefund.org.
Virginia Beach Police canines are all males and are European imported Shepherds and Malinois. While many apps can be fun, they become dangerous in the hands of a predator or an unsuspecting child. The Commonwealth's Attorney Office is launching a social media campaign to warn parents and teens of online danger.
Parents, don't let your child become a victim of an online predator. Call my office at the number below for more information on how to protect your children.
14% of high school students have accepted an invitation to meet an online stranger. Those are some scary numbers. The only way to protect kids from online dangers is to stay involved every day. The Digital Learning Anchor School initiative started earlier this school year. It provided a laboratory in 11 schools for students to try new technology and techniques. Recently, the division held a showcase to share lessons learned. There was plenty of high-flying fun as students and staff from 11 schools showed off their work during the Digital Learning Anchor School showcase.
The goal for tonight's event is for those who are here visiting with us to really see how hard these schools have been working with this new initiative, how they've been really digging their feet in, working with this new technology, trying the new devices, trying the new techniques, really just showcasing everything they've done this year.
Great Neck Middle School hosted the event. Parents, administrators, and school board members had a chance to visit exhibits from each school and see firsthand the technology students are using in the classroom.
We've been using Google Classroom, and we can do quizzes and tests. He can assign us homework assignments and different classwork activities, and we're going paperless.
We're going to be showing them how to use the programs and what programs we use tonight.
There are 6 elementary, 3 middle, and 2 high schools in the Anchor Schools program. The work that they have been doing will help shape upcoming technology purchases.
They are really anchoring the technology that we have in our schools, trying laptops, Chromebooks, iPads and other tablet devices, see what works best, so they can then let everyone else know which devices we can possibly move forward with in the future.
The initiative was prompted by the adoption of Compass to 2020, the school division's 5-year strategic framework. The framework's strategies include providing students with learning opportunities that include digital resources. From the latest technology to unique hands-on learning experience, VBCPS is one of the highest achieving school divisions in Virginia. This next story is a great example of why.
It should be a very rhythmic, steady thump.
These 9th grade students from Kempsville High School are participating in a problem-based learning exercise on emergency management.
One of their SOL objectives is to make a plan for an emergency and a natural disaster. And so Ms. Mansfield and I collaborated together in her role as the gifted cluster teacher and my role as a gifted resource teacher to put together this PBL for the kids where they are taking it further.
And they're taking that learning a step further by partnering with the Fire Department and Federal Emergency Management Agency. One group of students must prioritize and plan the city's response to a natural disaster, while the other learns about search and rescue operations.
Well, we thought it would be very interesting and very real for the kids to see how FEMA actually worked. FEMA is such a huge part of any rescue operation that we thought it would be better for the kids to have a hands-on demonstration and really see what it was really all about. So we have the FEMA dog in there, and they're doing some search and rescue. We have the toys, we have the camera, we have the sound suppression, so the kids can actually have a chance to put their hands on those kinds of pieces of equipment.
Volunteers from the Fire Department and Task Force 2 mentor the kids and supervise their progress. The goal is for these young scholars to see firsthand what goes on during emergency planning.
The objective is small. The idea is we want them to be prepared for a natural disaster, but we also want them to see how this operation is put together. So when a natural disaster strikes us, they see or understand all of the cogs that are in motion and all of the process that's happening behind the scenes.
Thanks to this creative learning, students are receiving some great real-world experiences.
I get to learn firsthand. They have a rescue dog, which is pretty cool. They have all this equipment that they're bringing in and showing us. It's pretty fun.
This is the first year Kempsville High has partnered with the city. More than 140 students got to participate. Coming up next on this edition of Access Virginia Beach, the governor makes a stop at one lucky Virginia Beach school. Find out why he was in town. And April showers bring May flowers. But did you also know it brought a magical guest to the Virginia Aquarium? We'll have that and more when we return.
Virginia Beach Schools Parent Connection is your one-stop resource for information and events which support families and promote student success. Looking for a fun way for your child to practice their reading skills? Bring your family to the Bayside Special Services Library Thursday, May 17th from 6 to 6:45 p.m. for positive reading with therapy dogs. Furry friends make great listeners and they love to hear stories. Watch your child's confidence soar as they bring one of their favorite books to share or select one from the library's collection. This activity is for students in grades K through 5. Do you need more information? Call 385-2680. Registration is required and you may register online at the address on your screen. Parents, would you like to have a closer rapport with your children? Plan to join CHKD for a free workshop, The 5 Love Languages, based on the book by Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages of Children, being held Wednesday, May 25th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the CHKD Health Center at Oak Brook. You will learn how to identify and apply different communication styles to build a better relationship with your children. Participants will explore what motivates your child and learn some techniques to help you better connect. Registration is required. Call 668-9304 for more information or register online at the address on your screen. To learn more about important deadlines or to see a complete calendar of Parent Connection events, visit bbschools.com and click on the Parent tab at the top of the page.
Welcome back to Access Virginia Beach. I'm Georgine Jones. Advanced care directives. It's something not many people like to talk about, but should. In fact, more than 4 million Virginia adults do not have advanced care directives. Let's take a look at the struggle one family faced when a loved one grew ill and didn't have a living will in place.
I realized that we needed a directive when my father was getting ready to go into surgery. Everyone was very emotional. We were very scared. We were very concerned about Dad. He wasn't getting any better. And one of the medical professionals came into the room and suggested to the family that we put a living will together. Well, we were not really familiar with it, and we really didn't know what our dad wanted or wished. The family, we became confused on what we should do. Some wanted to do it, some did not want to do it. The thought was that if we did it, that was saying that he was going to die, and then the other half was saying, no, that doesn't mean that he's going to die. So it really put us in a very bad position for the whole family. It was not until after the procedure we realized, or someone told us, that it was a directive. I do believe that a directive should be done by every family member. You don't want to wait until you're getting ready to go in an operating room, and everyone is extremely emotional. I would suggest that you talk about this now with your family. You want to talk to them during the holidays when you're all jovial and much better mood. Since that surgery with my father, I would like to say that he's doing a little bit better. He's still very sick, but we have the directive in place. That whole scene with the family going into that surgery opened my eyes. My husband and I now have a directive. He has one for himself, I have one. I have 2 boys, 25 and 23. They have a directive. They don't have us as the listed person to make any kind of decisions, because it's very tense, and we may not make the decision that they want. And that's the most important thing, is that we make the decision that's best for them.
AsYouWishVirginia.org provides a great tool to help you get started on your documents. Governor Terry McAuliffe spent a little time away from leading the Commonwealth to visit with some beach students and tour the greenest building in the city.
How you doing, everybody? Beautiful day, huh?
His first stop was at the new Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Brock Environmental Center, where he toured the facility for the first time.
Have you ever seen a site like this anywhere in the world?
After the tour, Virginia's chief executive visited with students from Virginia Beach Middle School's Environmental Club. They're in the middle of a year-long project. Students are working with the educators from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation to monitor and help determine the health of the Lynnhaven River. Governor McAuliffe addressed offshore environmental concerns that Virginians are facing.
Well, the federal government, the Secretary of the Interior, they took Virginia off the list now for offshore drilling, so we don't even have that possibility here in Virginia. The one thing I would like to see, if I could, I'm a huge supporter of renewable energy, wind turbines. I'd love to see wind turbines. What are we learning over here?
After his visit to the beach, it was back to school for the governor. He dropped by Shelton Park Elementary School to mark the Month of the Military Child. He was greeted by students, staff, and plenty of military personnel, reading to students and volunteering in other capacities.
A once-in-a-lifetime event here at Shelton Park Elementary. We had a visit from our governor and the Secretary of Defense and Veterans Affairs for the state of Virginia.
Shelton Park has a large population of military-connected students and families that play a key role in campus affairs.
Our boys and girls were so proud. They got to tell them of their military-connected parents and what they do for our school, and they got to show them some of their artwork and some of their stories that they've made.
McAuliffe was impressed with the volunteer spirit displayed by servicemen and women. He also posed for pictures and shook many hands during the visit. The governor wrapped up his visit in high-flying style. He worked his way through the throngs of students to a waiting helicopter, and with the students cheering him on, the helicopter lifted off and headed back to the State House in Richmond. More than 80% of the student body at Shelton Park is military connected. They definitely enjoyed the governor's visit. Here are some big numbers for you. More than 23,000 individuals donated 657,000 hours last school year alone. So how do you thank all of those volunteers? With a star-studded red carpet event, complete with balloons, great food, and entertainment. Killam High School hosted the Citywide celebration that honored 86 volunteers of the year and 14 model partnerships.
What you provide this school system is frankly the difference between good and great. All of your services, and that's what distinguishes Virginia Beach. And it is you who make all of that possible.
The school division wanted to thank them for their time, talents, and resources that support students and staff each year.
Someone from any walk of life who comes into a child's life as a generous adult willing to give of themselves in order to make a difference in the life of a child is a teacher. So we celebrate all of you who are teachers for our children.
A special reception along with a formal program was held. If you'd like to volunteer for the school division, log on to vbschools.com. Sixth graders at Landstown Middle School recently traveled back in time to relive the history of Westward expansion, a time where the lure of gold lured 40% of the nation's population to travel west to the Mississippi River.
I got a lot, guys.
Panning for gold, just one of the popular stops along the trail.
We are having a westward expansion simulation. We have 4 stations. We have Oregon Trail, we have the Mexican War, we have Manifest Destiny, and we have the kids panning for gold.
After the gold rush, these 49ers also learned valuable history about the successes and failures experienced during the rush in the 1840s. For added measure, they even had a guide to lead them on their journey.
Okay, with the panning for gold, we're having them look at the history and what the 49ers went through. We want them to feel what they felt, and we want them to understand the frustrations that they had.
Students assumed multiple perspectives in addition to digging for gold in California. Decisions must be made on what to pack for the Oregon Trail, what they could learn about Manifest Destiny, and meet some characters who supported war with Mexico and those who opposed it.
We've learned and we've tried doing gold panning for gold, just like the people did during the gold rush. And we've learned about the ways that they had to live back then and their opinions on the war.
You support the U.S. war with Mexico, correct?
Yeah. They're talking about the Mexican War, and they're talking about the different perspectives during the war. I think when we look at history, sometimes we think that everyone agreed with the history. And so we wanted them to really examine the different perspectives and see that there was a lot of disagreement as well as agreement for the war.
Whether it's learning how to pack, what trail to follow, or claiming your pot of gold, the simulation emulated what students had learned in the classroom.
We've been doing a lot more interactive things instead of just sitting at our desks and probably doing worksheets and doing partner activities. We all did different personalities, and so we had to do like different questions about if you opposed the war, if you supported it, and your experience about it, and then your personal opinion outside of your character that you were acting as.
Providing those personal experiences, just like those who traveled west 175 years ago, was the goal of the Westward Expansion event.
We wanted to get them out of their regular setting, and we wanted to get them moving. We wanted to make history come alive, and we wanted them to feel like they were a part of it.
And unfortunately for those travelers, it's back to the classroom to discuss their findings and elaborate on what life was like during the Westward Expansion era. And with that, we've come to the end of our show. But if you've missed something, you can view this program online. Log on to vbgov.com/media. Today, we leave you with some magical photographs of special guests who are recently floating around the Virginia Aquarium. Mermaid Mondays wrapped up its April swim in the Red Sea Aquarium at the facility. These incredibly popular series delighted young children and their families. Mermaids even swam with the stingrays, much to the delight of all. Looks like everyone was having fun, both above and below water level. For everyone here at VBTV, I'm Georgine Jones, and thanks for watching.
News.